if you got a result from that process, then just imagine if you learned to practice this. And it seemed like most of you did get a result. Yeah, how many people got a result and felt stronger? Awesome. Oh, look at this. You just learned this 2 seconds ago, and you already got a result. So just imagine what happens when you make this not a habit, but a practice. Habits become habitual, but a practice is something you can grow and develop. And so imagine if every time stress comes and hits you, you recenter yourself. You take the energy of stress that would normally weaken you and make yourself stronger. The way it works is that either the stress is going to eat you or you are going to eat the stress. In a very simple way of looking at it. This tool was originally invented running. I love to run long distances. And I noticed myself and other people looked like they were in tremendous pain when they were running, right? Their faces are all pinched up, their hands are tight. And so I thought, you know, if it can work for a 90-minute run, certainly it can work in light. And so I played around with all these different things. I hear a lot of people say, I breathe, I'm breathing. I want to tell you, breathing is not enough. You've got to do all 3 steps. If you could do it in 2 steps, I would teach it in 2. I've played around with it a million different ways. You've got to do all 3. Think for a moment about what we're doing. If you are in India and an elephant goes wild and goes berserk, how do they calm the elephant down? I know. Someone always says shoot it. Of course, it's always the They don't shoot it. What they do is they get another elephant and another elephant and they sandwich that elephant. Right? That's the only way they can calm down an elephant without harming them or harming someone else. Take that analogy and apply it to yourself. What you are doing with recentering is you are using your mind and your body to harness your emotional energy.
My question, Mr. Clark, is how did you come about formulating this whole program?
I've been developing this curriculum, continuously changing it and perfecting it. And so now I've just had it out. My goal was to create a system that was comprehensive, systematic, and practical for transforming performance. And I felt like if I could do it, it would apply to any individual, no matter what they were doing. And that's what I find. So I'm a guy who goes to UCSD and does a keynote, and then I'm out at Camp Barrett Juvenile Detention Facility in the mountains, and then that evening I'm working with parents. And I'm really doing very similar things with all those audiences.
I just want to say thank you. I think this is remarkable, and I think you're right about this is going to be the tool for the 21st century.
Thank you.
I think you've hit it right on the head. I think this is a real tremendous target. I just want to say thank you for this.
I really appreciate that.
And your work.
Thanks.
The gift of the present moment is that we have a choice every single moment. Recenter or react. When you walked in the door tonight, you may or may not have been aware of that choice. Now, you have no excuse. You are given a choice every moment. You have a power tool that you can practice and engage. One thing that I did not mention is that there are a lot of things that we are already doing to recenter ourselves. I could ask any one of you, and you would tell me things that you do to recenter yourself, whether you ever use that term or not. Maybe you like to work out. Maybe you like to watch the sunset. Maybe you go to church. Maybe you like to go out to lunch or talk and have a conversation. We have spontaneous things that we do already to recenter ourselves. But we've got to have tools for the moment. I cannot be in a conflict with somebody and say, you know what? I'm going to go for a run and I'll be right back and then we can talk about this. So I need something right in the moment when I'm with that person and situation. And that's what recentering is for. And this is what it looks like in the Spanish. The most difficult part of this is remembering to do it because you're habitual in stress. Stress comes and you're gone. Reactive self takes over, recentered self gets pushed down. So you got to remember to do it, and you got to remember the steps. And so you got to figure out, how can you remember the steps? Maybe you'll say breathe, relax, center. Breathe, relax, center the X. Whatever it takes, but you got to get the steps memorized. And then after a while, you won't even think about it. I've been doing this about 10 years, and when stress comes for me, I just take one breath and I recenter it. And I do it. I can't even tell you how many times I do it in a day. This tool has been one of the biggest keys in developing my business, improving my personal life, developing myself. It's the key. I mean, I'm telling you, you can do anything with this because it brings out the best that you have. This is a visual image of the reactive self. This is a symbol of an individual, or it's a symbol of a team, or a symbol of an organization. It could be all three. It's chaos, craziness. Somewhere in there is you. This is a visual symbol of the recentered self. The blue circle is you, or an individual, or an individual, team, or an organization. You're clear on the inside because you're recentered. Because you are recentered, people and situations around you spontaneously are recentered. Just like the negative people at your work that dump all the negativity and then they leave and everybody feels terrible. Recentering works the exact same way. When you are recentered, people spontaneously become more recentered around you. The chaos is never leaving your life. We're never getting rid of the chaos and the craziness. However, now it consists of perfect circles. Why? Because we see the perfection in the chaos. We realize that the very things that we're avoiding are the things that we need to strengthen our recentered self. We realize that chaos and the stress and the craziness are energetic opportunities. The rhythm of transformation, it's just like music, is that we are going to react, and then we're going to recenter. And then we're going to react, and then we're going to recenter. And then we're going to react, and then we're going to recenter. That is the rhythm of transformation for all of us. We're not going to stop reacting, but we're going to learn how to use it. And so when you throw it on a sequence, it looks like this. We have our negative reaction. We recenter, and then we choose positive action. And then we have our negative reaction, and we recenter, and we choose positive action. Thought by thought, emotional state by emotional state, choice by choice, we are going to transform every aspect of our lives. We take head trips in our intellect, and we transform them into centered thinking, focused thinking with purpose. We take reckless emotions, and we transform them into emotional intelligence. And we take senseless actions, rushing around and doing, and making to-do lists, and we transform those into right action. We've got to focus. And what I believe in my heart is the future for young people is the head, heart, body integrated. I have a 3-year-old. My goal for him is that he is going to be balanced in all 3 parts. He is going to be intellectually, emotionally, and physically balanced. That is the future of education. That's the future of business. I think it's the key to a lot of our world problems, is creating this balance in people. So the question becomes, what are we going to do about it? What can we do about this? If we look at the 2 selves and we say to ourselves, too much of my day is spent in the reactive self. Let's say 60% of my day or 75% of my day is in the reactive self and 25% is in the recentered self. And when you've reflected on the people and the situations that trigger the reactive self and activate the recentered self, if you think about it for a moment, it's all stuff outside of yourself. More than likely, what you talked about were people and situations outside of yourself. The problem with that is that the outside is dictating how you are as a person. So if you are hanging out with people that you enjoy and you're doing things that you like to do, you feel very recentered. And if you are hanging out with people that you don't want to be around and you're doing things you don't want to do, you're very reactive. And in that sense, we're giving away our power. We're giving away our ability to choose how we want to be. And so the question becomes, how can we be recentered no matter what's happening? How can we be calm in the midst of chaos? How can we be positive when we're surrounded by negativity? So that is the understanding portion of this piece of content. We have 2 selves. We are moving between the 2 selves. The power tool for this is, whenever stressed, recenter yourself. What happens right now is when stress comes into our lives, our reactive self takes over immediately. It just rises up and takes over. It swallows the recentered self. And however you react when you're stressed, however you think, feel, sense, and act, takes over. And you do the same thing over and over and over again. What we're going to do is reverse all of that. And recentering is a really simple 3-step process.